Mozart Woods Media. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Today is a very sad story. We know there is a disaster going on in Bogoso. We term it the Bogoso disaster, and then other people will say the bomb blast. I don't know. It's so sad, especially some of us coming from the US or in the diaspora. I was in the office the other day when a white lady friend called me and said, Martin, is all your family doing good? I said, yes, what is it? He said, I understand there is a disaster in one of the towns in Ghana. I said, okay. Then quickly I went onto the internet to find out what it was it. And it was this Bogosu disaster. And then today we'll be talking about that. We'll be looking into it, the nitty gritty. And my resource personnel on the program today is Ashama Observer. And then we'll also look at the Ghana Blasters and then the sacking of the coach of the Ghana Blasters. And then we'll also look at other matters. But let me welcome our resource personnel, our great big brother, Ashama Observer. Ashama Observer, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
How are you? Are you safe?
By God's grace, we are fine. Those of us here in Ghana, West Africa, we are doing quite well, even though we have been experiencing some issues with regards to what you talked about earlier. All of us are fine.
All right. So are you in the city or you are still in Bogoso?
I've left Bogosu. I was on the ground to ascertain some few things as a journalist to know exactly what actually has been happening. So what I can confirm is that the police have been telling us about some 13 people have been killed in the explosion near, for those who don't know Ghana, the town is called Apeatse. It's in Bogosu in the southwestern part of Ghana. And people will be wondering what led to these particular incidents. The police and officials of the mining companies have been telling us a truck which was carrying some explosives to another town, a gold mining town, crashed with a motorcycle near the town of Bogoso. And when it crashed, according to them, the driver of the truck actually got down with the escort, the police escort on board. And knowing well what could happen, they went to alert those nearby to be aware of this truck which could explode.
Right.
They even went far to a school nearby to evacuate school kids from the school to a safe ground, just to ensure that no life would be lost. Unfortunately, the town folks gathered around and then really didn't heed to the warnings of the driver and the police officer, and they were there taking videos and photos of the crash. And within 20 minutes, the truck blew up. And then those of them who were taking the photos were actually affected at the time. And what happened also was that the truck had parked closer to an electricity transformer for the town. So it went into the transformer and then straight up into the entire community. So as I speak, over 500 households, homes have been destroyed. And a lot of people, as we speak, are in the hospital. The police have been telling us as much as 117 people have been hospitalized. And though some have been discharged, a lot of them are still in the hospital. In fact, if you look at the photos coming from the area, the whole place looks like a ghost town now. Drone footages, you can see debris. On the day of the incident, people were trapped beneath broken walls and all that. They had to take the efforts of rescue workers and everyone with regard to security to rescue these people. So briefly, this is the incident that transpired in Apeatse in Bogoso in the western part of Ghana.
So, are you saying that the whole event took place within the space of 20 minutes? The accident and then the driver giving the alarm until the explosion was 20 minutes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but the report given by the police PRO, Mr. Kwesi Fori,
Yeah.
according to him, their investigation proves that the driver, after having the impact with the motorcycle rider,
Okay.
he knew what he was carrying, and so he got down with the help of the police and then alerted the town folks that look, something is in this truck which could go off. So
Okay.
everyone evacuate. But you know, in Ghana, when some of these things happen,
Right.
people want to get closer to take videos of it. And indeed, I have a video with me. Unfortunately, I cannot share it. Few
Okay.
minutes before the explosion, I can see people taking videos around the place.
Okay.
Then, boom, the whole place went up in flame. You can hear the sound at the background. And so, within that 20 minutes, if the people had heeded to any emergency call, probably would have
Yeah.
had less people dying. But indeed, I think that the driver and the policeman need to be commended because for their efforts, um, some students nearby, I mean, the primary school students, most of them would
Right.
have died because if you look at the structure was actually broken down into pieces, but they were
Okay.
able to evacuate the students,
All
over
right.
200 of them. So, yes, they tried to save life, but they couldn't do all that within the 20 minutes, which actually led to many lives getting lost.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? From your own estimation, the damage. What kind of perimeter are we looking at? I mean, from an estimation, perimeter radius are we looking at?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
we have about 500 homes which have been affected.
Mm.
And these 500 homes span the area of not less than 4 football parks. If you look at a football park, standard football park, or let's say a stadium,
Right.
about 4 and beyond. So that's a whole community which has been wiped, away.
Yeah.
People don't have places to sleep.
Yeah.
As we speak, according to the disaster management, there are about 3,000 people that have been displaced.
Okay.
So you can imagine the level of devastation to the
Okay.
community.
I know you are a journalist. You are not a security expert, but I want to come from a microscopic 20 minutes impact explosion 20 minutes area perimeter area covered almost about 500 houses. The driver survived it. The policemen survived it. It means they were able to go beyond the blasting area. How possible was that? You know?
And this is the very question a lot of people have been raising.
Yes.
And we are even learning this evening. There's a new publication online that, in fact, the motor rider is saying he never actually crashed into that vehicle. That's a new dimension. It's just been published that he never crashed into the truck. Rather, he was hit behind by another vehicle.
Mm,
And so he had no impact at all with the truck. So, which is contradictory to what the police have been telling the public.
yeah.
So, it's a new dimension. And like you said, if they could spend 20 minutes to do all these, what
Evacuations.
is it called? Yes, they could have maybe taken the truck away from the community, at least to a distance
Yeah.
within that space of time so they could save lives, but they didn't do it. So it's a very tricky issue. It's really not clear whether what the police are telling us are actually the entire truth. All the narrations coming seem to be conflicting with one another. And
Yeah.
so we think it's a developing story. For
Yeah.
now, the attention we think should be on the residents who have lost loved ones. In fact, I watched a video where one man's hand was found somewhere in a barrel.
Wow.
Somebody's head was also found somewhere. I mean, very, very pathetic
Right.
story coming from that part of Ghana. But surprisingly, the area, Bogosu, is a mining community.
Hmm.
And we have most of the world class mining companies there. And so one would have thought that, I mean, the mining companies would have rushed the place to maybe give some relief items to residents. We are yet to find any of such mining companies going there to actually provide them with relief items. The vice president has been there with his entourage to commensurate with the people. But in fact, the people there really, really need a lot of help.
Yeah. Well, I want us to stay more on the security issue. Are you telling me that the bomb blast was the real thing, or the transformer was that which escalated the whole village? Was it the bomb blast? We know the bomb blast came up with some escalation, but was it the blasting of the transformer that triggered that amount of I mean, what do you say, from a layman's point of view?
Okay, so I want to make a clarification. It was not a bomb.
Oh, sorry.
It was a
Sorry.
bomb.
The dynamite. Was it the dynamite blast,
Yes.
or it was
So
the transformer that
yeah.
brought
So
about that? Sorry.
per the account given by the those who were on site, that is the driver, some surviving eyewitnesses, and the police,
Yeah.
what they are simply saying is that the explosives on the truck had gone off, and then few moments later the transformer also caught fire and also went off.
Okay.
So the both didn't go at the same time. The truck went off first, then after some few minutes the transformer was also affected. So and then that's went into town, buildings coming down, roofs being yes. So
So I am really pinning you. I'm really pinning because some of us from the diaspora, we just want to get the true picture. So the explosion started, and then some few minutes. When the explosion started, did it affect some houses, etc., etc., or it was after the transformer exploding that brought about roofs and things escalating into the air? I mean, I'm just trying to just push you to the wall. If you can help
yes,
me.
I understand. I really understand you. We want to get the picture, our viewers to get clearer
Yes,
picture. So
yes,
I'm actually basing this account on what the police have been telling us. So, but when the explosive on the truck went off,
mm,
between when it went off and the time it affected the transformer, that has not been established. As to
all
whether
right,
it took 1 minute, two
mm,
minutes, it's not been established. What they told the media at the time was
mm,
that the whole place was up in flame and dust. You couldn't see anything. So it's
right,
like you are in the dark, one boom, boom, boom. Then in the next 2, 3 minutes, you hear another explosion. So you
right,
cannot really tell whether the transformer went off after 5 minutes, two
right,
minutes or not. But the security officials are telling us, and per the account of the driver on board,
right,
the explosive on the truck had gone off,
mm,
after which the transformer also went. So, but we are not able to establish the time frame, whether it happened between 5 minutes or 1 minute or 30 minutes, that we cannot establish.
all right. Is there any addition you would like to add to it?
Yes, what I want to say has to do with the emergency response that we've been able to attach to this very disaster as a country.
Right,
I must say that the police have been on the ground, the national security, the fire service, NADMO, that is National Disaster Management, they've all been there. I think the response has been so swift. But what
right,
I think has not been too good is the presence of the vice president on the grounds, because
right,
a disaster zone, we were not expecting to see our vice president visiting the place, though it is commendable that he went there to commensurate with the people,
mm,
but he walking around the very ground that this explosive
yeah,
or the explosion occurred, to some of us and to some security experts, they think
yeah,
that it was not right for the vice president to have been there in the first place.
mm,
Maybe he should have waited until the place is declared as a safe ground for
right,
any official to visit.
right,
And so, and in fact, if you watch the social media space, a lot of people have also been expressing concerns over the this swift approach to this disaster as compared to what happened in the Keta municipality with regards to the tidal waves. People are
right,
saying that the president or the government has been so swift dealing with the Bogosu issue, but yet when it happened to the Ketu South people, where the tidal wave destroyed thousands of homes, where about 3,000 people were affected, they didn't see this swift movement from government, and so they are trying to read all kinds of meanings into it. But I mean, all in all, I think the government has really done well by this swift move. Today, we also heard that a millionaire in Ghana, a businessman,
Yeah.
the former president Mahama's brother Ibrahim Mahama had
Yeah.
sent about is it 3,000 bags of rice, cooking oil, and all sort of relief items to the people in Bogosu, Apeatse.
Okay.
So we think it's commendable if the corporates, Ghana, and all those people involved in mining can all come together to rebuild the community. I think it will go a long way to at least calm the lives those who have been affected, to have their homes back. It will really make them a bit give them a bit relief.
So tell me, what's the situation on the ground at the moment? Is it a tourist center or is it a closed down? Is a whole place a tourist center right now, or it is closed down?
Yes,
Because
the place, surprisingly, the place is open and people can just walk around the entire community. I mean, when I was there, I could see people looking around, going from one destroyed home to another, looking for something else, which shouldn't have been, because
yeah,
it should have been treated purely as a security zone
exactly.
where ordinary people could not go there to walk around. Unfortunately, as of the time I was there, I
Right.
mean, residents could come in, walk around, and all that. I don't know if measures have been put in place as we speak, but as of the time I visited the place, this was the situation, which I think shouldn't have been. And I think we should learn from this,
Yeah.
because if there are some explosives there, it could
Mm-hmm.
still put people's lives into danger. And then people walking around, that could also compromise, security. For all you know, they are telling us the explosion happened from the truck. Maybe thorough investigation could lead it to another thing. And
Yeah.
if people are walking around, that could compromise the investigation being conducted by the police and the military.
Has the security services or NADMO come out with any communique that the place is safe for people to go down there and then take pictures or visit the site? Has it come out with any communique?
I'm a journalist, and usually when press statements are issued, we are the first to have access to some of these
Yeah.
communique. I'm yet to come across any such communique declaring the place as safe for people to go to. But
Right.
what I have seen on social media this evening has to do with the reconstruction of the road. You know, the very road that the truck was on
Mm-hmm.
developed deep cracks. So no vehicle could travel on it. So they had to divert the road. And so I'm learning that the Ghana Highways Authority with engineers are currently working 24/7 to reconstruct that particular road so that vehicles could move on it freely for now. So that I can say is happening on the ground now. But apart from the community is being rebuilt or construction works, I'm yet to find anything of that. So the security services have not issued any statement as to whether the place is actually safe for people to visit or not.
So, from what I'm hearing from you, are you saying that this dynamite was escorted by the police? Were they escorted by police before the incident?
The head of department for the PRO of the police, let me put it that way,
Okay.
Kwesi Fori, in
Hopefully,
an interview,
yes. A
yes,
very
in
good
an
friend.
interview with the media, said that the procedure for which they'd have to follow in transporting the explosives were duly followed, and he went ahead to say that there was a police escort,
Mm.
on board the truck as of the time the incident happened, and
Hold on,
so
hold on. Are you saying on board on the truck? The police
exactly,
was on board on the truck. There was
yes.
nothing. There was nothing like a scout. I mean, a police vehicle, a first scout, second scout, and then a scout behind the truck. There was nothing like that. It's just a policeman on board of the truck. Is that what you're saying?
If my memory set me right, per the interview he granted an Accra-based media station, he said that there was a policeman on board, As to which on board, whether on the truck or in a different vehicle, that clarity has not been established. But
All right.
he maintained that there was a policeman with the truck. Let me put it that way.
Right.
And I cannot establish whether he was on board or in a different vehicle. But
Right.
all he wanted to affirm was that there was a policeman with the explosives, and then he said that the procedure that they needed to follow in terms of transporting explosives with regards to the mining explosives were
Right.
duly followed, were duly signed, which means that every procedure, security wise, was actually followed to the latter. But
Mm.
this accident happened because there was a crash. But now we are hearing the so-called motor rider is saying that
Right.
he never crashed into the truck, which
Mm.
is a big blow to what they have been telling us. So if there was no crash into the truck, then what happened? It
Right.
means that the public would now demand answers to
Yeah.
find out exactly what happened, because
Right.
the motor rider is alive, the driver of the truck is alive, the police officer is alive, the escort, all those people are alive. How can
Right.
we have lost individuals, innocent people from the Bogoso village? I mean,
Right.
and you are telling us there was a crash. Where is the crash motorbike? We can't find it. Now the so-called motor rider is also speaking that no, I never crashed. So in fact, a lot of people are raising concerns over some of
Right.
these submissions being made by both
Right.
parties, the government, and then those involved in the accident.
All right. I'm not supposed to take sides. I'm not taking sides, but I'm just trying to compare how things are done in the US and what I'm listening. For example, let me just set an example. Um, a mining company in the US is transporting maybe a dynamite to another location. First and foremost, the first security guys on the ground should be security of the mining company, the security of the mining company. Okay, they will be deployed in a vehicle ahead of the van or whatever. There'll be one vehicle ahead of the van and then another vehicle behind the van. Before we have the police car right in ahead of the mining company security vehicle. So in all, we're gonna have how many convoys? The police vehicle, the mining company security, the van. Behind the van is the security company of the mining company before the state security. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's what we see over here. And I believe that was what I will expect our people to be doing, because the mining companies should have their own security. Those guys are trained. They are trained security specifically on mining issues. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the policeman, he's just been called detail. Look, go and escort this car. He doesn't know the detail of what is in the truck. But the mining company, the security companies of the mining company, they know the detail of whatever is on the truck. Anyway, this is what I'm just trying to compare Ghana and
Yeah,
the
so
US,
so
how they
let me
run
come in
things.
quickly. I think your
Yeah,
analysis is right.
right.
And I think that has been the reason why the mining company, the license of the mining company has been revoked pending
Mm,
investigations,
yeah,
because, like you rightly said, they are going to be investigated to find out whether what you are putting across, whether they duly follow that. If
right,
it turns out that they actually didn't follow that, then it means that the revocation of their license will stand. But as we speak, the license of the it's actually not a mining company. It's a company that takes care of mining services to
okay,
all mining companies. So they are supposed to handle some of these explosives, and so their license has been revoked pending investigations.
all right. I want to go easy now. Can you just give us in brief the high? I understand the government had to send some high delegation over there. Can you give me a talk on that? Which kind of agency and personalities that were sent there to
Okay,
witness?
so the vice president was there,
All right.
represented the president. We also had the information minister, Kojo Nkrumah was there. And
Okay.
we had the lands and natural resources minister, Honorable Jinapo. He was there
Okay. All right.
with district chief executives, MPs. I mean, it was really military officers
Okay.
and NADMO officials. They were all on the ground to ascertain the level of damage.
All right. Plantation boss, thank you so much for the first segment. I'm so sorry I had to push you to the wall. I had to because I needed to get information for my people out here. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to add before we move to the football?
Not much, not much, but as citizens, we expect the government to be up and doing. We don't wait for lives to be lost. One life is worth everything.
Right.
So a lot of people's livelihood, their lives, their relatives are all gone. And
Okay.
then all they do is to issue statements. So we
Mm,
think that government should be up and doing to preempt some of these things from happening.
mm.
So we should not be a country of reactionary people. We should be people who can see things ahead and prevent them. That should
Right.
be the way to go going forward on some of these things.
Okay. Let me just put one question last before the list about you made mention about trying to compare what is happening in Qatar, what happened in Qatar, and what is happening in Bogoso, and how the government is reacting to what is happening to Bogoso, and as compared to what is happening in Qatar. What are the people saying on the media waves, or what are Ghanaians saying about that?
Well, if you observe social media, you would
Right.
realize that a lot of people have expressed concern when it happened in Qatar, the Qatar tidal waves. It affected more than 3,000 people. 3,000 people were affected directly. Their homes were destroyed, their livelihoods, everything was gone. But we saw the vice president never visited the place.
Yeah.
But this one, less number of people, but the vice president has been on the ground.
Okay.
Government delegation has been sent there. So the
That was a Shama Observer. I know his signal is going down, but I know we're going to get him back. It is what we go through whenever we are having great interviews, very interesting interviews like this. The signal begins to fluctuate. A Shama Observer is communicating to me from Ghana, and I'm telecasting live from Pennsylvania, United States of America. A Shama Observer, can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear, sir? Can you hear me loud and clear? A Shama Observer. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashama Observer is let's just break for an interlude and then we'll have him back on the show. Mozart Woods Media. 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 Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's so unfortunate that today's telecast will have to come to an end because Ashama Observer is having serious network problems. It always comes along when the program gets so interesting, etc., etc. It's so appalling and it's so sad. My heart and feeling goes to our brothers and sisters who are going through the trauma in Bogoso. And I just pray that the Lord Himself will heal them, and then the government will or marshal in psychologists to go in there and then help our people. We wanted to discuss the football, the Blaster football, the sacking of the Blaster coach, but unfortunately, um, Ashama Observers Network is out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for today's program. It was supposed to be a 45 minutes program, but we have to subside this very moment. I want to say thank you so much for spending time with us. This is Mozart Woods Media, telecasting live from Pennsylvania. God bless you all. Bye. Mozart Woods Media. Mozart Woods Media.